period. But the saying goes that when the going gets tough, the tough get going. We've had to make very many challenging decision points. And I believe that those decision points have been made in the interest of national progress and development. And we are continuing to stabilize the economy. We're continuing to stabilize the power situation. We're continuing to push for growth of the economy. We're continuing to push for jobs for young people. We're continuing to push for food security, education, healthcare, and so many other things. In the period that I've been president, I, being a mere mortal, may have made mistakes, but I believe that in every mistake I've made, I've done it out of good faith to serve my nation. And every decision I've taken has been in the national interest. We were faced with three main challenges, I would say. I'll categorize them. The first was stabilizing an economy that was running a deficit of almost 12%. The second was resolving a power crisis that was crippling the economy and slowing growth. And the third was restoring social and economic infrastructure that was in a state of disrepair. And so these have been the three main challenges I've addressed myself to during my period in office. And during that period, I believe that we've achieved success in many of the things that we set to do. We've managed to stabilize the economy fairly. We're currently seeing macro indicators that are looking quite good and pointing in the right direction. We've also taken the bull by the horns and stabilized the power situation as of now. And we also have invested massively in restoring the social and economic infrastructure with massive investments in the road sector, in education, in health, in water, and other sectors, agriculture, expansion of our ports, rehabilitation of our railways, revamping of many factories that were closed down. But probably I would address the young people of our nation, because the critical challenge that faces every leader in the world today is the issue of creating jobs for young people. Africa has one of the fastest growing populations. It's estimated that Africa will be the most populous continent in a short while to come, above 1 billion people. And we have a youth bulge that is both an advantage and a disadvantage. It's an advantage because it will provide us with a young, virile, strong workforce. And it's a disadvantage because if we do not roll out jobs quickly enough, then that could become a powder keg for destabilization. And so all over the world, leaders are engaged primarily with how to grow their economies and create jobs to absorb as many of their young people as possible. I believe that we have the most credible program for job creation going forward. We have begun implementing many of those programs, and we are expanding and accelerating those programs from 2017 and beyond. The first has been to create an enabling environment for the economy to grow, and that is why we've concentrated on stabilizing the economy. Because if the economy grows and is accelerated, then what it does is it naturally throws up jobs as the economy grows. And so that's the first. The second is when the private sector has a stable macro environment and the economy is predictable, then it creates a conducive environment for the private sector to grow. Because in any economy, the private sector is the largest employer, not government. Most of our young graduates come out hoping to get a job with government, but government's ability to employ is very restricted. If you take the whole of our economy, the number of people on the public sector payroll, that is on the Controller and Accountant General's payroll, is about 600,000 people out of 27 million people. That is all the teachers, the doctors, the nurses, ourselves, the president, judges, parliamentarians, everybody is about 600,000 people. The millions more are employed by the private sector, the banks, the telecom companies, and all the other companies, both in the formal and informal sector. So one of the president's